Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday. It's April 29th, 2025. It's a beautiful spring day here in Tacoma. Yes, I am back in one of my old filming locations, and I've got a brand new Washington hot sauce for you. Well, I don't know if it's brand new, but it's brand new to me. I have done two other sauces by this company. This is a Seattle based hot sauce company called Murder Hornet, and the one in question today is their honey bourbon hot sauce. Okay, I love the color scheme on it. I like the yellow and the black of the label, you know, because Murder Hornet, right? And I just really like the color of the sauce. Now, I have mixed feelings about the two other sauces that I had by this company. The one was like a black label hot sauce, and it had ghost pepper in it. It was very, very hot, but it was also weird tasting. It was fruity and kind of unpleasant. And then the blood orange sauce, I think that was a habanero sauce. Um, it was a little bit strange too. Like it wasn't bad, it wasn't unpleasant. It was just kind of strange. They were both weird hot sauces, kind of unique, but weird. So yeah, so this is a Seattle. These are actually it's made in Burien, made for Murder Hornet Hot Sauce LLC in Burien, Washington, which is just south of Seattle. So for all intents and purposes, it's Seattle hot sauce. You might be asking, why other than that, certain hot sauces have a stinging burn to them. Why would a Seattle-based hot sauce company call itself Murder Hornet? Well, a couple years ago, uh, there was a possible colony of Asian murder hornets that was trying to establish a wild population in Washington State. I am not sure how they got here. Maybe on planes. I don't know. But they made their way into Washington State. They were in the northern part of Washington, but they managed to find and exterminate the queen that was trying to establish a colony. So that ended there. But that is probably what this is referenced to. Okay? It never happened. Anyways, let's read what's in this. All right, so this is a balanced blend of honey, bourbon, habanero, and black garlic. Okay. Try it on steak, eggs, burgers, and mac and cheese. That's fairly standard suggestions for hot sauce, especially a honey based hot sauce. So the ingredients are honey, red Fresno peppers, bourbon. It says may contain traces of alcohol. Ooh, traces. White wine vinegar, habaneros, garlic, brown sugar, sea salt, black garlic, sesame oil, xanthan gum as a natural thickener. I like everything that's in that. I do like bourbon based sauces. I like the combination of bourbon and honey. This will be the first sort of bourbon and honey thing that I've tried in a while that didn't have chipotle peppers in it. This one's going to go with the habaneros. So I'm curious. Hmm. I'm smelling the habanero in there. I don't really get much of a bourbon smell from that. I'm not smelling the white wine vinegar either. Maybe a little bit. I'm smelling habaneros. I'm smelling garlic, and I'm smelling white wine vinegar. I don't smell the sesame oil at all. There must not be much of it in there. All right. I'm a little bit, just a little bit suspicious of the fact that this has honey and brown sugar in it. You really only need one sweetener, in my opinion. But we'll see. I don't know what type of habaneros. The sauce is very red colored, so perhaps they are the hottest type. Well, technically the hottest are chocolate habaneros, but I've only had one chocolate habanero sauce, and weirdly it wasn't that hot. So I don't know. They're supposed to be the hottest form of habanero, but they weren't in my experience. So these are probably red habaneros. Here we go. It is very seedy. It's a very seedy sauce. And even though there's no fruit in it, so it's got Fresno peppers and it's got habaneros in it, even though there's no fruit in it, it's kind of got a fruity kind of sweetness to it. But that must come from the honey and the brown sugar. Um, it's not that hot. It's not that. It's not overly sweet. It's not like sickeningly sweet, like I suspected it would be. It is still a little bit too sweet for my liking. But what I'm really being taken aback by right now is the amount of heat that's in that sauce. I think a part of it is I'm just out of practice. I have not been reviewing a lot of spicy foods um, in the last 2 weeks. So it could be just a case of my tolerance just went down really quickly because I wasn't eating anything spicy. But yeah, This feels like a hotter sauce than just a habanero sauce to me. It really does. And it's got lots of chunks and seeds, chunks of habanero and seeds in it. Um, so I like the texture of it. I'm impressed with the heat. I'm going to give the heat a 2.5, possibly a 3. If I took another spoonful, I think it might get up to a 3. But my stomach is kind of sensitive, so I don't want to do that. Um, I think that it could use a little bit more salt and garlic, to be honest. It could use a little bit more salt and garlic, maybe even a little bit more vinegar. And I really wanted to taste that sesame oil in there, but I don't really. Um, but altogether, it is not a bad sauce. This is the third, and I believe this is the final one. I don't think there are any other. I don't think Murder Hornet makes any other sauces. They just have the three. We have the black label. They have this, the honey bourbon, and then they have the blood orange. None of them were great sauces, I'm afraid to say. I wanted to, have some Seattle pride and recommend a really, really great sauce that was made in this area, but this isn't the one. It's a 6 at best, probably closer to a 5.5. Not really my type of thing. I'm not into super sweet sauces. And, I'm not the biggest fan of habaneros. I'm picky about my habanero sauces. So, but that doesn't mean that, if super sweet sauces and habanero sauces are your thing, that you won't love this. It is a nicely made sauce. It's nicely put together. I like the texture. The label is just beautiful, in my opinion, and that counts for a lot. I will buy a sauce just based on, like, how cool the label looks to me. I like the color scheme. I like the color of the sauce. I like the texture of the sauce. I like the idea of the sauce. I just don't think it's really to my taste. All right, and it was not cheap. All right, this is a $13 bottle of sauce. So you better really be into honey bourbon stuff if you want to give this one a shot. Okay? That's it for now.